Hi there guys, we've got update number 3 I think on Little Nellie, just off the top of my head, and we've moved on a pace. Seems to be, it's that strange part of the modelling progress where nothing much seems to happen and then all of a sudden there seems to be a big leap and you seem to do a lot all at once. There's not as much as there looks, but as you can see we've got the decals, the colours, and some of the bodywork together, and it's looking much more like Little Nellie as you know it from the movie at the moment. Of course we've got Mr. Bond all painted up. I have actually scratched his trouser leg, which is I'm a little bit annoyed about because I dropped some black enamel paint on his left arm earlier, which has just fallen off, and in the process of wiping that away I dragged the arm across the leg and scratched the paint on the leg, which I'm a little narked with myself about, which you can see down there. So that's a bit annoying. I'm going to have to touch that up, but it's my own stupid fault for not putting the figure out of the way while I did the rest of the bits and pieces. But not too bad all in all. So what I'm going to do is scoot in a little bit closer and show you some of the stuff a bit more close up so you can see the detail. So as you can see here, we've got the main body of Little Nellie with the control panel down at the front there with the decal on showing the control dials. That's tucked away quite a way inside there and you really have to peek inside to see it, but it does look quite good in there. And obviously you can see that we've got the little pod painted up and the decal applied that runs the length of it. I need to I'll be leaving this till pretty much till the last, but I will need to paint the small centre portion of the nose black, at which point I have made a little pitot tube, which you don't get with the kit, but you see in the film, although it is thinner in the film, but I made this out of a bit of stretch sprue, shaped accordingly, so that, and then carved out, hollowed out on the back with a knife, which you can't see because it's stuck with blue tack while the paint's drying on there. And then that's going to stick on the front of Little Nellie, like so. And all of the metalwork, or the bulk of the metalwork, has been painted with some newly acquired AK True Metal, which are the ones in the tubes that look like oil paints. And they're a wax-based paint, and I thinned those with enamel thinners and airbrushed them on. And I've got to say I'm quite pleased with them. These portions here are Citadel Mithril Silver. The rest of them are actually the True Metal. Now they were quite nice and shiny. This bit here is still reasonably shiny, as you can see. But I did clear coat them with Tamiya clear, acrylic clear, because I knew I'd be handling them a little bit during the assembly, and the more you handle them, the more they do rub off, like most real metallic finish paints, unfortunately. So that did dull the shine of the polished aluminium look down a little bit, which is a little bit of a shame, but that said, I still think they do look quite nice, and you know, there is a bit of reflectiveness about them, as you can see there. So that's the main body, as you can see, looking much more like Little Nellie as you know it. And then down here we have the prop, which has been painted in Tamiya Deck Tan, which is a very, very pale sort of brown colour, although oddly that looks a little greenish to me at the moment. I don't know if it's just the light I'm using. And then the same with the main rotor blade, and obviously the centre piece of both of those has been picked out with chainmail, Citadel chainmail, which is like a steel colour, and I'm quite pleased with those. And then the little pods, the rocket pods on the side that you see here, I've started to repaint those. They've been reprimed. I've got the mithril silver base on, and then I need to do the yellow at the top, and then I have the 2 decals to apply to those, and then I can fit them to the body. And I have actually checked and double checked and painted them the right way up this time. And then the rest of the little metallic components have all been painted with the AK True Metal paints, and say look quite nice and shiny. I picked up 2 of those, an aluminium and a steel, because I want to try the steel True Metallic paints the next time I do brake discs. What I typically use for brake discs is Humbrol Metal Coat polished stainless, which I really like, but my tin is running down quite a bit, and I thought I would just try something a little bit different and see how that buffs up and see if it looks good. And if I like that, I'll use that. If not, I'll get another tin of Humbrol Metal Coat and I'll be able to use the True Metal steel on something else. And here we've got the engine, which I have currently just painted in Humbrol flat black enamel. And I was originally intending to do this kit purely with acrylic paints, but in doing that I realised how much I really don't like the Tamiya gloss colours acrylics for spraying. They just don't dry very glossy. Even when you spray the gloss clear over the top, they're not very good. And the flat colours are great. They spray really nicely, but honestly they're not that good. And then I got the True Metals, and I just thought, oh sod it, I'll use the enamel paints because I know they're good. And this is one coat of the matte black enamel paint. The coverage is fantastic, the detail it's left is fantastic, and yeah, it's going to take a little longer to dry, but it's worth it for the better finish. Once that's dried, that's going to get a dry brushing of some gunmetal just to pick out the detail and lighten the whole thing up. It's going to be a fairly heavy dry brush on the engine because I want it to look mainly metallic but slightly dirty looking, as an engine might do. And is there anything else? I'll just sort of show you this bit here. This is one of the little rocket pods, which is unprimed, and it's literally, other than being washed, has had nothing done to it at all. And I painted this with a cotton swab and some of the True Metal iron, I think it was, and then just sort of buffed that up. And other than it being a little bit patchy, you can see the kind of reflective finish that you can actually get with this stuff. So provided you can buff a part up and then make sure you don't touch it again afterwards, you know, you can get a really nice, genuinely metallic looking finish on there. So I think that's really nice, and really effective, I think that. So is there anything else? I think that's pretty much us for the moment. Now, this little hose which fits up under here and then goes to the back, but that I need to fit that once the engine's in place, once that's dried and dry brushed and everything. One last thing to mention are these little smoke and flamethrower pods which sit on the back. I've now repainted the nose cone of those black as they should be, and there they are assembled with the black nose cone, the red fin, and I think they look quite nice as well. And there you go. So I'm quite pleased with those. I think they look good. And finally, we've got the rockets, which I have, while I've got the flat black Humbrol enamel out, I did the fins on the rocket and I did the nose cone in Tamiya gloss red earlier. And once they're dry, I'll give the whole thing a coat with clear future, just to give them a bit of a sheen and to protect the paint. So I'm quite pleased with those rockets. I neatened up the back a little bit with a drill bit and just hollowed out the back a little bit to make them look a little bit more realistic as well. So that's where we're at the moment. The next one might actually see the kit complete and assembled. So tune in for the next one, and as I say, that might actually be the completed kit. We'll see where we're at, but there's looking at this, I don't think there's that much left to do now. So thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.